How to throw a party in Asuncion, Paraguay. So right now we are here live on a beautiful Saturday night. We got a great turnout, probably somewhere around 50 to 80 people. And yeah, people just hanging out, having a good time, making new friends. We've got the lady on the grill, we have a DJ, we have a bartender. We've rented this beautiful rooftop. But it's a process, man. Now that it's turned out great, everybody's having a good time. I'm super, super grateful for that. But there was definitely a solid few days of work that I had to put into it leading up to the event. So what I want to do for you guys is just kind of break down those steps for you, and give you some advice for all the fine details that you're going to need to know in order to host an incredible event like this. See you guys soon. Throughout my first year plus living here in Asuncion, Paraguay, I have hosted some incredible events. What I want to do today in this video is give you guys a guide on how to do it. I want this to be super informative for you guys. I think this might be the only video on YouTube specifically for this topic, specifically for Paraguay. Might be the first, but if not, it's definitely going to be the best. So I want to break down all of the planning that you have to put into it, the logistics of actually putting it together, how to invite people, how to invite the right people, and how to just make it an enjoyable experience for everyone. So that way when it's all over, people are like, dude, sick party, dude. Thank you for inviting me. This was a great time. I'll be there at the next one, right? So I want to focus today on this video on like the medium-sized social event. So bigger than just having some friends over at your apartment, but smaller than like a massive, publicly advertised concert or party, right? Say 20 to 100 person social event. Why? One, because I have the most experience in it. I've hosted many of these myself, all on my own. I do have experience kind of promoting and organizing other things like language exchanges, professional networking events, conferences, and electronic music parties. But I've personally hosted these. And also, I think that it's a great starting point for those of you guys who want to come here and grow your network. Because ultimately, that's why we do it. My first point actually was going to be why do this. I'll go ahead and cover it now. It's just one of the best ways to grow your network. And it's kind of like a positive feedback loop, right? Like you first of all, you have to grow your network a little bit first in order to even consider doing something like this. And then you host the event, and then people come, they enjoy it, they bring some of their friends, so now you're meeting more new people. People appreciate you for doing it. There's always a need, a demand for good social activities, for just a space where people can just relax and have a good time and listen to some music and eat some good food and make new friends, right? And so it's like you build your network up first a little bit, and then you host an event. And then that builds your network up even more. And then you can host another event after that. And then that next event is even better. So it's like, it just compounds on itself, right? And for me, this has been one of the most crucial ways that I've been able to build the network I have here. By the way, after this, watch my How I Built an Amazing Network in Paraguay video I recently posted after this one, so you can get a little bit more of the tips as to how to build the network first. But yeah, that medium-sized event, say 50 people, is super doable, right? It doesn't take that much effort. You gotta plan it out. You gotta make it good, but it's doable for someone like you, a foreigner, to come by, find a good spot to do it in, and make it happen. So, first of all, I'm going to specify a little bit more as to what that event is, right? I think your best first places to start are going to be large dinners, right? Like dinner parties, asados. Probably your easiest first pick is going to be an asado, or house parties, right? And you can kind of combine the two, right? Rooftop parties, house party, rooftop party, asados, right? Like you can blur the lines a little bit. I've had my best success doing rooftop parties where I invite a DJ or multiple DJs to come play some music. I've had bartenders come as well. I'll get more into the details, the logistics in a second. And then we cook some food, right? So it's like kind of like a networking mixer slash party slash, have a drink. And it's just people to just hang out, have a good time, and get to know one another, right? So where can you do these? Rooftops at buildings are going to be your first bet. Now, they come with some challenges, but there are a lot of these apartment buildings around Asuncion that have these nice rooftops. They have the rooftop where you can rent out the space for the night, and then you have access to the common area, the social area, as well as the grill, maybe a pool, maybe a little outdoor space as well. So that's going to be the easiest first pick, because you coming here, your Airbnb might have one, or if you're doing this, you're probably not just in an Airbnb. The apartment that you rent might have one. So that's going to be the easiest first place to start. Beyond that, you can get to know venues here, bar owners, restaurant owners, and you can start to talk to them about how to do it in their space. I'm not going to go too deep into that in this video, because then that's a whole other ballgame when you're dealing with a public space. Or there are houses that you can rent on platforms like Airbnb and off Airbnb. They're like quintas, right? They're like event houses, where they might have like a pool, a yard, a grill, some chairs, a seating area. It's like a vibe space, right? So I'd start with those two, either like an event house, or easiest one, a rooftop. And the rooftops are kind of a vibe, right? You're up there, nice views, and yeah, it's a cool scene. So the thing with the rooftop, first of all, do not just restrict yourself to your own building, because your own building, their rooftop might not be big enough, for example. Or maybe the logistics aren't good. Maybe it's too far out of the way. This is where making friends comes into play, right? Reach out to your friends. If you go when you go to your friend's place, and they take you to their spot, and you check out their rooftop, or if you've been to an asado, another spot. One thing that I've done many times is I'll reach out to my friend and say, hey, let's do an event at your building. I'll take on all the responsibility. I'll bring the people. I'll pay for the reservation for the space. I'll take on all the liability. Let's just make a reservation. The reservation would be in their name because they're the resident. And yeah, it's kind of like a collab thing. Obviously, if they want to help as well, then great. If you have a team, amazing, but you might not. I've done this for the most part as a one-man show. With the rooftops, you got to be careful of a few things. One, it's got to be big enough. Two, limits on people. Now, every rooftop is different. I'm not going to tell you to go way over that limit, but the stated limit is usually set pretty low just to be conservative. Get to know the security guard, and just make sure that you're telling your people you invite to be very, very careful of the space. Don't break anything. Don't be super loud. Don't make a mess, right? Come in, tell them your name. Your name is on the list. You're probably gonna have to prepare a list. And it's on this floor, right? And just make sure that everybody's on board to make sure that the space is taken care of. But that's another thing. If you rent a house, you're gonna have much more flexibility there in terms of how many people. With a rooftop, you might be a little bit more limited, but play within the confines of reality. Understand how physically big the space is, how cool the security is, how many chairs are there, how many plates are there, all those sorts of things. By the way, a lot of times they're gonna give you a list with every single item, right? Like every plate, every cup, every pan, et cetera, written out on a list, and then you're gonna sign it when you do the reservation. So that way they cross-reference it when they do the cleanup the next day, and if anything is missing, they charge you for it. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're not breaking cups and stuff like that. So, next. The logistics, right? Actually putting the event together. So I'm going to talk about the invitations and getting people to show up first, but what about the actual logistics? So you have a few options. You can just have some people to come and hang out and have some drinks and play some music. That's pretty easy. There's levels to it, right? You could bring a Bluetooth speaker, just connect a Bluetooth speaker and play some music. You'd be good. Or you could invite DJs. That's something that I've done at several of my events. I have several friends that are DJs. I've paid DJs. I've also had friends that just kind of play just for the gusto, just because they like it. I've rented DJ equipment. If you want help and connections with this sort of stuff, reach out to me. Link in description to get on a call. Reach out to me on Instagram, whatever you want to do. But yeah, you can invite a DJ. Keep in mind, you want to have a nice sound system, right? So you want to get nice speakers, a nice mixer. You want a separate table for the DJ. You don't want him playing on the dinner table. And noise becomes more of a concern when they're playing loud music, right? One thing that I've done is I've had nice speaker systems without subwoofers on rooftops, purposely, right? Yes, the subwoofer adds a nice oomph, but it's not a rave after all. It's just a party. And I'd remove the subwoofer in order to keep the noise down for any of the residents of the building while still having a good high quality in the actual space. Food is another thing. So, like I said, an asado is a really good place to start. Honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I would just have an asado with a Bluetooth speaker, right? That's an easy first place to start. What cuts of meat to buy? 3 cuts of meat. Tapa cuadril, which is picaña, vacío, and costilla. Vacío, I honestly don't know what it translates to. It's like a big triangle-looking one. So it's a tapa cuadril. It's like a smaller version. And the costilla is the beef rib. Buy those 3 cuts. Buy some chorizo. Choriqueso is like chorizo with cheese in it. Chori picante, spicy chorizo. And morcilla. 3 types of chorizo, 3 cuts of meat. Tell people to bring their own sides. And you'll be good to go. That's a good starting point. Keep in mind, it's not just the meat, right? It's the seasonings, it's the paper plates, it's the plastic cups, it's the straws, right? You want to be thorough to make sure that you have all the equipment you need. But as you do more and more of these, you're going to be able to refine that grocery list even more with more experience. Reach out to me. Again, if you want me to share like receipts of grocery runs and stuff like that, I can do to show you like exactly like, okay, like what is it and how much do you need? Now, how much does it cost? For events where I've done a thorough asado, like fed everyone and played music and had DJs, and paid for a grill person to be on the grill, I noticed it's around $6 to $10 per person on average. That's rough math, but I went back through and audited some of my expenses. So say 30 people, call it $300. Then that's with the reservation, with the rooftop and everything. I added up all the expenses. 50 people, $500. 100 people, $1,000. Could you get it lower? Certainly you can. If anything, that sounds kind of high. Like $1,000 for 100 people, come on. Like you could get it lower, maybe closer to the $6 range, but just to be safe. If you're not renting out a DJ, or if you're not hiring a DJ and you're doing your own grilling, but you could be at like $3 a person, $4 a person. And then, oh yeah, also I mentioned there paying for somebody to be on the grill. I'd say if you're at or above 20 people, 100%, you need a grill person. You can't do it all on your own and be on the phone responding to people as they walk through the door. I can connect you with good grill people, or you can just have like a local friend kind of volunteer to do it, or you can pay someone. This part's easy. Like you can just find a local who knows what they're doing, offer them either, if you're cool with them, just be like, hey man, can you do it for me? I'll feed you for free. That might work. Or just offer them some money and they'll do it for you. I'd say if you're above 60, you want not only a grill person, you also want another helper in the kitchen. This person's going to be making sure that all of the plates are put out nicely. They're going to be cutting the meat because one person has to cook the meat, the other person has to cut the meat and serve it. Making sure that the kitchen isn't trashed because it's going to be consistently getting trashed throughout the course of the night, and somebody needs to be putting the stuff in the bags. And yeah, 2 people there is a solid dream team. Also, drinks. My personal strategy when it comes to alcohol is bring whatever you want to drink. I personally am not a big drinker, so I'm not going to need much. And you want your cost per person to go up a lot, go buy a bunch of handles of alcohol. You could charge for it if you want. I'll get into charging in a sec. But my general strategy is just, hey, bring whatever you want to drink, including soda, right? Just like, you want alcohol, bring your own alcohol. There will be food, there will be cool people, there will be good music, there will be vibes. Bring your own alcohol. Perfect. I've never had any complaints. Next, that's, in terms of the logistics, that's pretty much it, right? Get your personnel in place, do it with plenty of time in advance, budget it out, make sure you know what you're spending, make sure you know you're buying, you got to go buy the right stuff at the grocery store. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not too complicated. So, speaking of charging, there's a few different ways you can go about it. I'd say what I personally recommend is for your first event or two, don't charge. Either A, just make it completely free, which is what I've done for some of my events, is just, I'll just fork up the money, you know, whatever the couple $100, whatever it was, like I just paid it. And like I said in the beginning of the video, like the investment is worth it, right? Like doing this pays, it'll pay back over time in terms of your network and just your enjoyment of life in Paraguay. But on some of my more recent events, what I'll do is I'll just say, hey, no cost to attend, but donations will be accepted. There will be a tip jar there, and here's my bank account for transferencia. Simple. That way it's like, okay, I'm forking up all the costs, all the major costs, right? All the food, all the audio, the building itself, right? But hey, I tell my friends, if you want to bring something, you know, bring me some cash and throw it in the tip jar, by all means, and people are very nice. Like you'll find here, especially if a lot of your invites are expats, even locals too, honestly, just people are giving, right? Like they appreciate the sacrifice that you're making, and they'll be happy to throw something in the jar. And I've recouped as much as like 70% of my costs. I've never made a profit. If I were to charge, maybe I could, but like I said, that would, in my opinion, I think that would take away from the quality of the event. And people are going to expect a lot more from me in return if I do charge them. Next, inviting people. How to do it? Here's what I recommend. Beforehand, you're going to want to make a list. Literally just go sit down in a coffee shop or at your desk and just bang out a list of people who you can think of. Just names. And just brainstorm, whatever, piece of paper, whatever you want to do. And then prepare a copy-paste invite, right? So, something along the lines of, you know, hey, I'm doing a party this Saturday, or doing an asado this Saturday. It's going to be at this place at this time. We're going to have some good food and listen to some music. You know, if it's a well-known DJ, or if you want to shout him out, you know, X DJ will be playing. Or if no DJ, just don't include that. There will be plenty of food. Just bring whatever you want to drink. And tips will be accepted. You can donate if you want. Like I said, boom. So you're gonna have that copy-paste, translate it into both languages, put some emojis in there, you know, like food will be included, steak emoji, bring whatever you want to drink emoji, whatever, jazz it up. Make sure you're putting the Google Maps link. Always do Google Maps links for the location. Boom, send it out. And then what I do, here's how I get like a 90% show rate. I'm not kidding. At least 80% show rate of like people I invite to people who arrive. Not like people who say yes to people who arrive. No. If I invite 100 people, I'll get like 80, you know, or realistically it's less. I'll invite like 60 and I'll get like 40. Why? Because first of all, that just goes back to having friends and being good to people, being a good person, like just be a good person, right? And people will want to show up to your stuff. But one other thing that helps is it's just a matter of blasting a copy paste invite. I'll send that and then I'll send a voice message. Hey man, just sent you the details to my event on Friday. You know, let me know if you want to make it. And then I'll say this in the audio instead of the invite. By the way, if you want to bring a friend or two, like by all means, or if you want to bring your girl, go for it. Just let me know how many on the day of, so I can get an idea for a head count. And also, by the way, like, yeah, I think I remember you had mentioned that you were starting this business, or you were working on this. Like, I'd be curious to know how that's going. Or dude, like, I heard you just got back from Bolivia. Like, we'll have to talk about that. You got back from Argentina. Like, I hope you had a good trip. We'll have to talk about that. So yeah, let me know if you want to come. Hope to see you there. If not, no worries. Let's link up one of these days here soon and catch up. Boom. I accomplished two things. One, I sent the invite. And two, I fostered the friendship a little bit, right? Like, I remember these details. And that's up to you as a person. Like, remember things about people. If you need to write it down, you can. I personally don't. Some people do recommend that though, like write down people's birthdays and stuff like that. But it's like, I invited you and I mentioned a little bit, if I could, obviously you can't with everyone, about like something that's relevant to you, something you're working on, something I remembered about our last conversation, some trip you went on. I know you have a girlfriend and I mentioned her specifically, hey, if you want to bring your girlfriend, by all means do it. And yeah, it's more personalized and people are more likely to respond and just like feel feel appreciated by being there, right? You know, sometimes people, it's like, if you just blast out an invite, they think like, they can be kind of shy. They'll be like, oh, like, I'm not sure, like, will people know me there? Like, will they really want me there? Of course, in reality, yes. Like, we want you there. I really want you there. That's why I'm inviting you. But you might not really know that if I just send you some Control-C, Control-V invitation. You know what I mean? And then another thing. This kind of goes back to our logistics point. I probably should have said this earlier. Take your closest friends, your MVPs, and ask them to bring specific items that are going to get your costs down, right? Your closest, your boys who you know, your ride or dies who got you, like, don't ask this of everyone, but your ride or dies, and these people aren't donating, by the way. This is their donation. Oh, by the way, like, if you wouldn't mind, like, this is after they accept, can you run by the grocery store and grab a costilla, like a beef rib? Oh, can you get a couple bags of charcoal? I'm gonna need some ice. You mind grabbing the ice for us? Boom, right? Now you're delegating a little bit. So you're still gonna have to buy most of the stuff, but you're delegating a little bit. You're taking some of those major items. And in theory, you could cover absolutely everything this way, but when you do that, you do surrender a little bit of control. But boom, you're taking some of those major items and you're asking some of your closest homies to provide them. Boom, 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 boom. And before you know it, you've got this collection of the stuff you bought, the stuff they bought, the people you invited, the people you invited, right? You know, you've got your grill person, you've got your music, you've got your space, you're ready. And then, yeah, when you're at the event, I mean, this is up to you, but like, I try to personally greet everyone. Even if I don't know them, I'll say, hey man, what's your name? Oh, nice to meet you, welcome. That also kind of communicates to them that you're the host. So that way, if they need anything, they can come up to you. Hey man, welcome. Drinks are in the fridge. A lot of times people will bring drinks. They'll bring like 2 liters and beers and we'll just stuff them in the fridge. And before you know it, the fridge is stacked full of drinks. And I'll say, hey man, plenty of drinks in the fridge, have whatever you want. Because it is whatever you want. Everybody brought it to share. Like, open up the fridge, have whatever you want. Food's coming out here soon. Like, let me know if you need anything. Hope you have a good time. Boom. Next. Realistically, you're not going to have any long, thorough conversations with everyone if you're hosting. You're too distracted. There's too much on your mind. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, another thing. When it comes to invitations, sorry I'm all over the place, but I'm always all over the place, and that's the beauty of it. I tend to filter for inviting people who I know are going to be here for longer periods of time. This is completely up to you. If you just got here and you don't have that many friends of people who live here, then just do whatever, man. It's up to you. But I think eventually, after you've been here for long enough, you're gonna realize that in order to make it the most valuable for not only yourself, but for everybody else who comes, you want to bring people together who live here but don't know each other, right? Because those two people can become long-term, lifelong friends, right? Whereas if it's more of like a, you know, like icebreaker networking type of feel with a bunch of people who just got off the plane, which you get these a lot of out of like WhatsApp groups and like from social media pages and stuff like that, then it's good, but the value by somebody attending isn't going to be quite as high. So for me personally, I'm at the point now, again, I'm not saying you have to do this, but if I know that you have an exit flight booked, I'm not personally going to invite you to one of my private events. If you want to come to a networking event, if you want to come to a party, if you want to like hang out like at a dinner at a restaurant, by all means. But when I'm putting together private events, there's only so many spaces on the rooftop, right? So I have to be a little bit more selective with who I invite, and I will prioritize people who live in Paraguay. Not people who are checking it out, not people who are here to get their residency and leave, not people who are, you know, Airbnb hoppers, right? But again, completely up to you. And also just invite good people, right? Invite good people. When you're sending that voice message, you could also say like, yeah, man, like, you know, a bunch of my friends will be here. It'll be a great opportunity for you to meet some good people, and just kind of plant the seed that like, okay, like, let's make some new connections here. It's not just a matter of hanging out and having a drink and going home, you know? And that's where you get like I've seen people like relationships, like couples start like from some of my events, like really like tight homies. People become really tight homies by hanging out in these spaces, and that's how you can really feel like, okay, I did something for the community, right? I brought good people together and gave them a space to feel comfortable and just meet each other and listen to some music and have some drinks and eat some food while they're at it. So that's it. That's it. I won't go too much longer in this video. This is a topic where if you're serious about this, reach out to me down below. I can help you. You know, who knows, if you're cool, maybe we can collaborate and do an event together. I am looking to grow. Like I said, I've helped organize larger events, but I am looking to grow into that in the near future and do some larger, cooler, more unique events. So yeah, let me know if there's anything else you think I missed. Did you get value from this video? Was it helpful? Share any tips that you would give to anybody else in the comments. And I will see you right back here very soon. Ciao, ciao.